And we're back to let you know we ain't quit yet. Even though we've got a couple of viewers out there on the line, that's pretty cool. And welcome all, because this is the BYB's #1 show. In fact, it's its only show. But who cares, because this is the BYB Insider, and I am your host, the big guy, speaking to you now from the beautiful new Blue Yeti Triple M microphone, the Triple M microphone, the Michigan Miracle mic. That's right, I even got it in blue. What you want to know about that? Coming up in this episode, we got some big things going on. It's going to be week 13. Who took home the W's and are pulling off the BGs and staying alive? And who is not eating those W's, Jameis, and dying on the vine? We're going to find that out, as well as debut the Commissioner's Corner. I've got a few things to ask the league here, and I definitely want some feedback from you guys out there in the BYB Nation, because we need to know for sure how you feel about this, and it's a controversy that's brewing in fantasy football on a whole. So I'll bring that up in the Commissioner's Corner, as well as we've got a big, huge announcement. And with that, I shall take you over to screen 3, and here we go. So what you know about that? Bad Signal is coming. And the big giant announcement with Bad Signal is we are launching 2 podcasts. Number 1, we're going to be talking about wrestling. My buddy Matt Kennedy is going to join me in a podcast that we're going to produce every week, talking about wrestling, what's going on, about AEW, WWE, the NWA, and all points in between. Maybe even throw some ROH in there. And we're also going to launch a podcast called This Is the Deal. It's me, and we're going to talk about anything and everything. Sports, politics, you name it. We're going to debate it all out. All that's coming, as well as I have a question for the BYB Nation. How would you feel if this show never ends? Even though you don't watch it. But still, maybe you might. How would you think if I were to tell you that it's not going to? Because Bad Signal is going to redo the BYB Insider. That's right, we're going to redo it all. We're going to rewind it all the way back to season 1, even before it was named the BYB Insider. And we're going to combine down the shows that we used to have. The 2 shows, the preview show and the score show. We're going to make 1 episode a week right here at this time frame and release it from season 1. And then after we do season 1 in a redo, we're not stopping there. We're going to take the season 2. That's right. The season that went 2 episodes and then died off when I lost my computer. We're going to redo it straight from scratch, just like this one. We're going to bring you all the modern amenities and bring it to season 2. You're going to hear some old names you ain't heard in years. We're going to bring that, and then we're not done there. How about if we just completely from midair bring you season 3? Hey, Thomas Atkins. How about if I go redo season 4? The lost season, lost to the flood of 2012. No episodes, completely gone. You get to have your moment. Hey, Josh Workman, how about season 5? That's right. Redos on season 6, 7. And then we're going to go back and redo 8 and 9. And that should coincide right about the time of the season premiere of the BYB Insider for season 11. How about all that? If you don't want it, I don't care, because you're going to get it anyway. How about that? Because this is the BYB Insider Bad Signal Media is going to bring all this to you as Pyrotech goes away. We're going to bring you everything that this league should have had from the beginning. That's right. We're going to bring it all back. You're going to get to see some old stuff redone in a fresh new way. And I am so excited about that. We got the Michigan Miracle Mic. It's rocking. And we've got a lot to get to in this episode, because we need to find out who has won, even a couple of clinchers, and whose playoff dreams has shattered on the rocks. Here we go, kiddies. It is week 13. And here we go. Alright, gang, we're going to kick this off. Let's get off my Dicka and the foreplay, boys. The Dicka gang looking for the division championship. The foreplay gang looking to play spoiler. And the foreplay gang came looking to do that part.
And boom goes the dynamite.
Except Daniel Jones and Terry McLaurin kind of hanging it short a bit. And Joey Bosa off the cliff he went. So the door's open. Could James Beaver Casey come through and land the division crown?
Oh, yeah!
With Tom Brady, Ezekiel Elliott, and Kareem Hunt coming through with good scores, and the rest of the boys, well, as the screen said, they're just good enough to pull this one off as the Dicka boys clinch it down and win the XFL division title. 115.5 to 91. We're moving on to the A-team and 5 hard inches. Tommy Quick and Josh Workman, we're going to take it to the A-team side. A complete mismatch on paper. This one should be easy for Josh. And as you dive inside the box scores, it was looking short. You come down to the defense. Eric Reed was picking it up, but Zane Gonzalez? No, but would it really matter? I mean, this is Tommy Quick. I mean, it's not like Tommy was going to do anything right. And wait, what? Russell Wilson, James White, Devontae Adams, Edelman, Witten, they're all scoring like it's free. Cameron Jordan, Marlon Humphreys. Oh my God, what have we just seen?
And he scored! Unbelievable!
And it leads to Tommy Quick pulling the upset of the year, 163.5 to 116. And we're moving on with the Shockmasters and the Stone Cold Locks. Jared Taylor and the Locks looking to knock the Shockmasters playoff hopes into oblivion. And as we dive inside the box scores, the running backs and the wide receivers looked halfway decent, but Jameis Winston, not much out of there, but he gets a saving grace from his defenses, Littleton Hargrave and Taylor Rapp. Who? What? Came through with a nice score there. So the Shockmasters behind the 8 ball and looking to stay alive, and they... Patrick Mahomes, Melvin Gordon, the whole team contributing. And the defense came up with just enough as the Shockmasters stay alive. 115 to 105.5. And we're moving on. It's the Guild of Calamitous Intent coming to face the Revolution. The Guild looking to knock the Revolution from the rungs of the playoff ladder. And Deshaun Watson, Allen Robinson, and Marvin Jones came to play, but the running backs But Mick countered with a good defensive effort here. Some decent mediocre scores going on there. So could the Revolution come up with an answer? Yeah. Except Tyler Lockett. What happened there? But Alshon Jeffrey back to fantasy relevance. The bottom half, though, left it a little bit hanging, but it was just good enough as they squeaked by the Guild 1085 to 107 and clinched the XFL Division crown. Congrats to the Revolution. And we're moving on to another pivotal matchup. It's the Let Me Kick Boys against the Sex Kitties. Larry Dameron fighting for his playoff life. And as we dive inside the box scores, Kyler Murray, Alvin Kamara, Josh Jacobs, Keenan Allen did okay during the ball of water, but DJ Chark, you have sucked since you've been traded, and Jamal Adams and Nick Bosa. What happened to them? So the door is open. Could Charlie Brown come through and score a huge upset? And
boom goes the dynamite.
Dak Prescott, Duke Johnson, hello, Abby John Brown and Bobby Wagner and Will Lutz comes through, and Larry Dameron's playoff hopes. 111-97, Charlie pulls the upset. And we're moving on to the game of the week presented by Pyrotech. It is the Turn Down for What Boys and the Cardiac Kids. As we dive inside the box score, one of these guys was going to make a major playoff move. The other one, well, who knows? Let's dive inside the box scores here and look at here. Hello, everybody. Including Dalvin Cook, who really left the game early and left it kind of hanging there with 11 points. Would that come back to haunt him? Only time would tell, as the defense scored down some major points. Yeah, boy! So the Cardiac Kids looking to respond, and the answer is...
Oh, yes.
It's Gurley, Henry, Jarvis Landry, and Robert Woods.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Darnold and Zach Ertz, though, leaving it short, but Darius Leonard comes to save the day.
Bazinga.
Indeed, as it leads, and the early injury comes back to haunt the Watt Boys as the Cardiac Kids end the Watt Boys playoff hopes. 135-5 to 134. So let's go to the BYB standings, kids, and as we look at the NFL, this is the only one left up for grabs. As the A-team, the Cardiac Kids are now tied, separated by points for, but the Shockmasters are one game back with their playoff hopes on live support. As we flip over to the AFL side, the Get Off My Dick boys, Beaver has clinched. He's in the playoffs with no issue. The same goes for the Revolution. They've got the XFL clinched down tight. So now the only thing left to be decided is who's going to get in and what seed are they going to be sitting in. As the Cardiac Kids and the A-team are there, the Shockmasters are hanging on tough. But we're going to find out next week where all this shakes out. So with that, let's take a look at the playoff scenarios. For the A-team, it's simple and easy. Win and outscore the Kids, the number one seed awaits. But if the Kids can win the division, they have to beat have an A-team loss or outscore them by 58. The Revolution can win the one seed and the A-team, and with an A-team or a Kids loss, or outscore the A-team by 123 or the Kids by 65, depends on who wins or lose. Now for the poor Shockmasters on the outside looking in, they could get in with either they have to have both an A-team and a Kids loss, and then outscore either the A-team by 149 or outscore the Cardiac Kids by 91 points. Not impossible, but it's, the playoff hopes is, yeah, something like that. So there you have it, gang. It's week 13. It's in the books now. And so we know who's going in the playoffs and who's still awaiting as the playoff picture continues to crystallize. So all that leaves us now is the last week of the season. Week 14. Rivalry week. It's tradition in BYB. And we're forming some new rivalries and getting some blood feud rematches going on. So with that, let's take it and take a look at week 13. All right, gang, it's going to be week 14. Who's going to make it and who's going to perish? We're going to start this one off with the Let Me Kick boys and the A team. The headlines from this match, rematch from week 3 is the A team defeated the Kick Boys 147-5 to 113-5, but the Kick Boys are on a roll. They've won 3 in a row, averaging 122. Then we got the Cardiac Kids and the Dicka Boys, and this is a rematch as well. The Dicka Boys have clinched a position but needs to keep winning to improve their position, and the Cardiac Kids, they could be out with a loss. We're moving on. This is the Foreplay Boys and the What Gang. It's the Battle of the Workman Clan Part 4. And this is the first time in BYB history that neither one of these teams are both out of the playoffs at the same time. Interesting deal there. You got Jared Taylor and his Stone Cold Locks and the Revolution. The Revolution's got their spot, but the Locks are looking for revenge for a week 3 loss. And then we got the Sex Kitties and the 5 Hard Inches. Blood feud. And Tommy, after his massive upset last week, is looking to avenge his week 3 loss. And then we got the Game of the Week presented by Pyrotech. Say what you want to, boys and girls. BYB is about tradition, and this is tradition. It is the Guild and the Shockmasters, the 2 founding fathers of the BYB, battling for the Michigan Fidget Spinner. This is a rematch of week 3 when the Shockmasters knocked off the Guild, but the Shockmasters, they need to win in order to keep their faint playoff hopes alive. And they are the defending spinner champs, where the series is tied 1-1. Will the Fidget Spinner stay in Detroit, or will it be heading to Mick and Houston? We're going to find out. So there you have it, gang. Episode 12 is now in the books. Big announcements, thrills, chills, and spills. Classic music in the background. You've got it all here in this episode, even a few drop frames. Isn't that just lovely? So, with that, this episode's in the books. And me personally, I am tongue-tied. But come back next week, because the playoff picture will finally be crystal. We will find out who's in and who's packing up for the consolation tournament. But before we go, it's Commissioner's Corner, which I haven't been able to do a little promo for yet, but we will have one, and hopefully Commissioner Evans and Commissioner Dameron and Commissioner Workman will do one of these and send us a video in, and we'll be able to do these with all 4 of your commissioners. But I will start the first one here with a premise that I listened to on the way home. So I've been listening to the Fantasy Channel on Sirius XM. And a couple of things that have been brought up for debate and that they've been debating about for a while has crossed my mind, and I would like to get the BYB Nation's input on this. One of the big things that they preach about is points. Points this, points that, points this, points that. It's all about points. And listening to this show, I'm hearing some leagues out there that is getting 4 and 9 teams into the playoffs due to the amount of points that they scored. Now, there is a caveat to that. They're saying that points for should be the separator, not wins and losses for like a wild card spot or something like that. But the caveat is that they've brought up that decides this is the fact that their schedule is randomized, and some divisions, when you break them down, are harder than others. Even us in the BYB this season, as we took a look at the standings, kind of understand that there is a moving disparity, even though each one of our divisions are really, really tight, even at the top, but the bottom teams are a little bit at the bottom, thus leaving teams like the Shockmasters right now on cardiac support. Larry Dameron, who scored the either the second or the third most points in the BYB, looking on the outside looking in. So the question I'm going to be bringing is, question 1 is, should points 4 be the deciding factor for you have your 3 division winners, and then the next spot is the points 4, or should that still be wins and losses? Now, I will remain neutral as the commissioner, but I have my own personal feelings about that as well. Question 2. Is it, because one of the caveats that they were talking about this as well is they are doing 16 playoffs with the first 2 seeds getting a bye. So question 2 is to you guys, is it time to expand the BYB to 16 playoffs? And I will put up a discussion thread on Facebook. We can talk it out. And also in the off season during the meetings, we can talk this out as well. But I would love to get your input on this, and would love to know how you guys are feeling about this. And to everybody out there in the BYB Nation, even if you're not even in this league, I will start a thread on my post. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me what you think that the BYB should do. And I would love to hear your comments. I'm sure Commissioner Evans and Commissioner Dameron and Commissioner Workman would love to hear those comments as well. So that's it for the Commissioner's Corner. And that's it for this episode. Happy debating, guys. And we wish you, from all of us at the BYB Insider, a very, very happy playoff hunt. Because it's going to come down to the end, and we're going to find out who's in and who's trucking on to the house. Well, actually, that's another thing that they brought up. Should the losers automatically go home? Should we do away with the consolation bracket? But that's a debate for another day as well. But debate that if you want. So that's it for this episode. I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm tired of talking. Y'all have a good night. We'll see you back here Wednesday. Right here, same BYB station. For now, that is until bad media. Good night, everybody.